My name is Victoria Lopez, and this is
Leslie Sweet.
We are SI tutors sponsored by the Office of Student Success. Today we would be doing a problem on developmental math over the system of equations. In using the system of equations, after reading the problem, you would then have to come up with two equations in order to solve. There are 203 tickets sold for a volleyball game. For activity card holders, the price was $2.25 each, and for non-card holders, the price was $3 each. The total amount of money collected was $513. How many of each type of ticket was sold?
Okay, so the first thing would be to make an equation using the amount of tickets sold. We're going to use X for the activity card holders and Y for the non-card holders. And the total would be the amount sold, which was 203 tickets. Then we would need another equation using the cost, which would be $2.25 is the cost for activity card holders. And we would use our variable, multiply that by our variable X, plus, same thing, the cost for the non-card holders, which is $3, and our Y. And the total would be $513. Now, when using elimination, we must multiply one of the equations to be able to get rid of one of the variables. In this case, it would be easier to multiply by a -3 so we could have opposites, and they will cancel out to be 0. So once we multiply that by the entire equation, we get -3x, -3y equals -609. Once we add up those equations, this ends up being 0. We get -0.75x equal to
-96.
-96. We then have to solve for x by dividing by the coefficient by both sides. We then get this to be x, and we would get 128. Now that we solve for x, we then plug in the 128 into our original formula. X plus y equals 203. And solve for the other variable, the non-card holders. To get rid of the 128, we would subtract to both sides to get y by itself, and then we would end up with 75. So there are our x, 128, which is the amount of activity card holders that bought tickets, and y would be 75 of non-card holders who bought tickets. To be able to check this problem, you would be able to substitute your x and your y values back into both equations, the original ones, and you would be able to
come up with the original amount of tickets sold using that, or plug them into the amount of money that was made, and you should come up with the same total in the end.
So once again, you would need one formula with the amount of tickets sold for each for activity card holders and non-card holders, and the total amount of tickets sold, the cost using the activity card holders, and the cost for non-card holders, which is 3, equal to the amount collected. Once again, the elimination would be using the opposite to get rid of one variable and to solve for the other variable, which would be x, and then you would go back and simply substitute that amount into the original equation to solve for the other variable. So to answer the question, how many of each type of tickets were sold, for the activity card holders, 128 were sold, and for the non-card holders, 75 were sold. Once again, my name is Leslie Sweet, and this is
Victoria Lopez,
and we are SI tutors sponsored by the Office of Student Success.